Oh yeah, it's Wood Burns podcast time. Oh yeah, it's Wood Burns podcast time. We got two chairs right here and two microphones. We got two people here and they're gonna talk. Oh yeah, it's Wood Burns podcast time.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Podcast number 3 happening today, Friday, late July. We have the late Kyle Donatucci. Round of applause, everybody. Round of applause. The crowd goes wild. So, some context. How do I know Kyle? First off, because he's ginger, he sticks out in the crowd. Okay, so it's kind of like Where's Waldo with gingers, and then when you see one, you usually are like, oh, that's cool. I want him to be my friend.
He's over here.
Yeah, so
He's rare.
We initially met skydiving. Interestingly enough, he has, I think, way more skydives than me, and that is rare. As a whole, a lot of people have a lot of jumps in skydiving, but most people don't have 625 like me. You have how many jumps?
750.
Holy shit. But you've done all your certifications and everything, haven't you? Or at least what, other than the tandem?
Yeah, I've never done a tandem. That's terrifying. Unless you're doing it a drop zone that I go to. I don't know. Am I sponsoring it?
Oh, it's up to you.
Yeah.
No, we're fine. We're fine. We need commission on that one.
Yeah.
So for anybody who is wondering, what are we talking about? Kyle and I both skydive. We met out at a place called Skydive Monroe. It's out in Monroe, Georgia, near Athens, kind of in that direction. And it's about an hour 15 from Atlanta, depending on where you are. And Kyle has been an instructor for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
3 years now, I think.
3 years. And you also do what's called camera, which is generally you trail a tandem where someone takes someone skydiving for the first time, and then you're on the outside getting a video of that.
Yeah, man.
Is that right?
Yep. We call ourselves the awesome videographers.
The awesome videography. Okay. Talk about videography. What made you actually want to do that? Because skydiving is already fun.
Very fun.
Why would you then start doing things like training people and also doing outside camera? What was the initial thought that got you on that route compared to just fun jumping, which is what we call just going up and getting out of the airplane like we do most of the time?
Yeah, so the instructor portion came after my first jump. I saw my instructors. I was like, dude, those are like the coolest people
Which ones
ever.
specifically?
One is no longer with us, Joe. Another one is no longer in the U.S. He's out in Hawaii. Well, he's in the U.S. Out in Hawaii.
Which one's that?
Kabang.
Okay.
And
Was
then,
this at Skydive Monroe?
Yeah,
Is that where you
Skydive
did?
Monroe.
Okay.
And then another one, no longer with us from health issues, Dennis.
Wow. Okay. Didn't realize any of that.
Yeah,
Were
who
you
wants to be
talking
my
about-
instructor?
Sounds like when you hang out with gingers, bad things happen. Just everybody should stay away from them. Was Joe Hollywood the first one? Is that what you meant, or no? A different Joe.
Different Joe.
Oh,
different
different
Joe.
Joe. Okay.
Yeah, he had an
I
accident.
was gonna say I didn't think Joe was or Hollywood was out there.
No. But yeah, so I thought they were like the coolest people ever. So I got to pretty low jump numbers and decided that that's the path I want to go on. But you had to have a certain number of jumps.
You mean just being an instructor?
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea. Okay.
Yeah, and the easiest way to get to those jumps is to have someone else pay for it.
That's true. And so, talk about the structure. What does Skydive Monroe do for videographers and instructors? How is it set up so that you don't pay and you get to go on a jump? But
Yeah, man. So I kind of started that a little bit earlier than I was supposed to. You had to have a certain amount of jumps to shoot video at Monroe.
yeah,
But it was kind of when
which
we were,
is what, like 100? 2?
to just have a camera. When I started, it was 50
Oh,
jumps.
now it's 200.
Now it's 200, and then to shoot video out there, you had to have like 100 jumps with tandems.
Yeah.
But the rules were a little bit more lax. So
What year was this? Ballpark.
2017.
Okay, so almost a decade ago. Damn, Grandpa.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Yeah, dude.
realization. Yeah, wait, 9 years. Holy
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I started doing the video, got paid for each jump. So not only do I get to jump for free, but I get paid. And it turns out, dude, it is so fun.
Is it because you get to share in the experience of the jumper who's going for the first time, the person who's paid for a tandem?
Yeah, you get to see.
It's infectious energy.
It's truly infectious. You get to see someone go from literally every single emotion on the human spectrum. So they start off on the ground terrified, but also like super stoked, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go do this." And you do the silly little interview saying, "Oh, you're jumping out of a good airplane."
Yeah, and
Never
for
heard that
context,
before.
a videographer on the ground shoots a little before video with the person who's jumping. Hey, what are you here to do today? You know,
Yep.
and a bunch of cheesy shit like that.
Truly, the hardest part of the skydive is that initial interview for the videographer, and also for the person being videoed.
Yeah. Well, because you're trying to make them comfortable, but it's also a little awkward, and it's like, yeah, you really actually don't know what you're about to do, but hi, it's me, your videographer.
Yep, and I like to say that I have a bunch of energy, especially when doing videos.
That's true. Yeah.
So I get to shine in that initial interview. So they're excited. You ask them if they're nervous. They're like, no, I'm not nervous.
Nah.
Then you see them slowly walk out to the plane, and you see them get just like a little bit more quiet, and they're like, no, I'm not nervous
I'm
yet.
good. Right when they're getting seated on the airplane. No, we're fine. You okay? Yeah, great.
Yep. Then we open the door on the way up.
And tell people what that is. What is opening the door on the way up?
So that is our air conditioning method. That is our way to vent farts out of the plane. But really, it's just extremely hot in this tiny little sardine can of an airplane.
And for context, for whatever reason, when people get to altitude, and that just means going higher up in the airplane, everybody starts tooting.
Yeah.
It's a thing, regardless of what drop zone you go to, what location, it is a constant problem. And so
it's actually scientific. Jacob pulled this up. It has something to do with the cabin pressure messing with the Burger King that you ate the night before. And
I thought he was about to hit like a real like scientific. Yes, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But anyway, so we open the door up, and that's usually like
pocket
what is
gum.
it, 15, 2,000 feet, something like that, 1,500, 2,000 feet. We open it up, and it's open to like 7,000 feet. So first off, most people have the realization that, oh shit, I've never been in an airplane with the door open. That's the first, uh-oh.
Yep, and the second one, which is bananas to me, is we have a lot of tandem students. And a tandem student is just a person doing a tandem. We just call them students because, I don't know why. Yeah, some of these people have never been on an airplane.
Crazy.
And they're like, my first time being on one, I'm going to jump out of it.
That's insane. Who thinks like that?
Not me.
Yeah, no.
No.
I actually, rewind, I hated my first ever tandem.
Why'd you do it?
Absolutely despised it because I grew up getting motion sickness. And so when I went up in the airplane, I wasn't in control. The way I could avoid motion sickness was being in the driver's seat. Or the front seat, really, but the best place is the driver's seat, so I know before I turn a direction.
Yeah.
My body's expecting it, but when other people do that to me, I get queasy and, like, it's not good.
Well, and you're
So
facing backwards in a
that's
skydive
what I was about to say.
plane, too.
So first thing is, if you don't know this, you face backwards in a skydive plane, and that's, I guess, because they need to shuffle you towards the door, and everybody needs to get out of the door. So you're facing the wrong direction. You don't know what pattern they're going to take on the way up, so they're flying in a random direction. Point being, I had a meal right before, like I had barbecue right before.
Oh, yes.
Then I went up like that, and I'm not in control. It was just a hideous experience.
Where'd you do it at?
That was at Skydive Spaceland Atlanta.
RIP.
Yep, RIP. They are no longer in business. I think maybe the land is still for sale, so gonna look at that here eventually if nobody buys it.
Ooh, that'd be really cool. I know they got cows out there now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not to.
So we could have steak and skydive.
That is true. And milk.
Steak and skydives. And milk, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta squeeze those titties.
Can say I've never squeezed a cow.
Yeah, me neither.
Any part of a cow.
I've seen some videos, though. It seems very seamless. It's just index finger and thumb.
I've heard it's a motion.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're saying you stroke the tentacles?
Mhm.
Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Yeah.
got
Mike
it.
Rowe taught me that. Shout
Got it.
out.
I called them tentacles. Okay, there it is. These cows are like, put some respect in your fucking mouth, bro. Okay, got it. So, anyways, point being was I hated my first skydive, and my brother just kept calling me a bitch until I went back and tried it again.
Yeah.
And
Was it
Thank
his idea to go do it or yours?
God, initially it was his.
Yeah.
And then I took a friend that I was roommates with at the time. He loved it. I hated it. And then my brother just kept calling me a bitch on a frequent enough basis that I was like, just to prove you wrong, that I'm not a bitch, I'm going to go again.
Well, now you're better at skydiving than him, so that's funny.
Yes, that is funny. Full circle. But I loved the second one because what happened was I was more prepared. I knew kind of what the deal was, what to expect. We're going to be facing backwards. They're going to do a long, slow turn all the way up, and that's how you get to the jump altitude.
That's a
But
wild
then
drive.
my jumper, or whatever, my instructor, he allowed me to operate the, what do we call those things?
Toggles.
Yeah, toggles. I should know this by now. He let me operate the toggles, so I knew where I was taking the canopy. That was fun to me because I was in control, just like the driving situation.
Yeah.
So we got down, and then I was like, Zach, everything's changed. Zach's my brother, for anybody who doesn't know. Things have changed. I'm going to do the course, like I'm going to sign up. And if you also don't know this, at Skydive Spaceland specifically, they have a strict program, but you can jump by yourself for the first time in your entire life out of an airplane with simply 1 day of schooling at most drop zones. If you go to any Spaceland location, they have multiple. They intentionally put you on a stricter regimen because it's based on safety and making more money off of you.
Absolutely.
But it's smart. However, you can go same day if you're crazy and you want to knock that out. That is an option. Your first ever skydive can be alone. And for additional context, and then I want to pass it back to Kyle, the instructors will get out of the plane with you and they hold on to you during the free fall. But on that first jump at the end of your first day, you are flying the parachute by yourself. Nobody can do that with you or for you.
Which is
That is wild.
It's a
That
crazy
is
idea.
absolutely wild because they don't know shit about wind. They don't know shit about gusts. They don't know shit about how canopies fly. Most people come in with just like no knowledge.
Yep.
They just come off excitement. And that's like what takes them through the process. But anyways.
Yeah, and when we're teaching people, we'll exit the plane, and halfway through the jump, I'll realize this kid has no idea what he's doing.
Oh,
and
no.
we're about to release him, and he's going to do his own
We're about to
thing.
release him. And often, sadly, they end up in trees. That
Not my
happens. Not Kyle's students, but students will end up in trees. Where else have they ended? That's crazy.
Soccer fields.
Soccer fields. There was one where he wasn't quite a student. He landed in the power lines. Okay,
Oh, that was amazing.
he landed.
That was very bad.
It was very bad, very hilarious, and I think he hopefully has perspective on that now.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. The fact that he survived is crazy.
It's crazy. He has great nicknames now, though. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
of course.
that's
Sparky among them.
there's like Easy Bake, some other ones, but yeah, he got knocked out
Yeah, and he got knocked
on
out.
opening, and we
Oh,
think
that's right.
Yeah.
He drifted into it because he was snoozing.
yeah we
He
think
was asleep.
he didn't go to bed early the night before. No, but really what he did was he tightened up his leg straps too tight while sitting
That's right.
down.
I forgot.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb is like you stand up, you get your gear ready for when you're standing up,
Yes.
and then you don't touch it while you're in the plane.
They're more loose when you sit down, but then you stand back up and your thighs
Yep.
fill them out again.
Yeah, and Homeboy was a lifter at the time.
He was. So he just cut off those big thighs and
Yeah,
freaking
man.
all the
Just
blood
out.
to half your body just gone like a light.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to shooting video.
Yeah, please.
Once that door opens up,
So they're terrified. Door opens up.
that's when you see, and that's when you get to start making all the really fun jokes, right?
And you
then-
really fuck with the new jumper. Yep.
Absolutely. That's when the terror starts, and that's when you get to see them go from excited and brave to terrified. And then they kind of just melt, I guess
So,
is the best way to say it.
Somewhere around 7,000 or 6,000, whatever, 5,000 square feet, doesn't matter. Fucking square feet. What am I saying? I'm literally
Sponsored by Woodburn
Sponsored by Woodburn Landscapes, your source for everything outdoor living solutions and design build landscaping. Anyways, feet in the air, 5,000 to 7,000 feet is when we shut the door. And just for reference, we try to get up to 14,000 feet on
Yep.
average to get out of the airplane. So then there's 7,000 feet to talk to your tandem student, for the videographer to shoot something else. I don't think they do it that way anymore. But they used to shoot another video in the plane of like, are you sure? Are you still ready? What's up? And then you have 7,000 feet for them to clip in and make sure everything's ready to roll.
You hear the instructors, like, they'll go over, hey, when we're jumping out of the plane, you do this. When we're here, you do that.
Yeah, they walk the student through it.
You know, all the skydiver or the tandem student hears is...
I was going to say, what cartoon is that when it's like the adults talk? Oh, it's Charlie Brown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the adults are talking and that's the noise. So anyways, when you're that, like at that level of adrenaline,
Yep.
you cannot fucking think straight for the first time. And even multiple times thereafter, but like that shit is overwhelming.
Yeah.
For sure. You're just in shock. You're like, this is the worst decision of my life. Or at least most people, in my mind, that's the facial expression I see. It's like they were gassed. And sometimes there's exceptions, right? There's just freaks of nature who then probably end up joining skydiving.
Right.
And they're just grinning, like just about to get out of the plane. But for me back then, I was like, oh my God, this is the dumbest thing, hands down, I've ever done. I was living fine on the ground.
Yep. Why am I doing this?
Why would I do this?
I liken it to, they go robot mode. That's why I always tell my students, is there will be a moment, unless you're one of those freaks, and those do terrify me.
Those psychopath students.
Yeah, where they're just not afraid at all. They're super stoked.
That can actually, like, for reference, that could be really detrimental to their safety if they continue that way in skydiving.
Yeah.
Like, skydiving is fun, and the equipment is safe as can be, but it comes down to user error that leads to most deaths in skydiving.
Yeah, and
barring airplanes.
Barring airplanes.
Bad year for skydiving.
It's been a bad
I don't want to
18
discourage
months, yeah.
everybody, but couple planes have gone down. One of which everybody did die.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, a lot of people lived, and just the pilot died maybe. But this is a one-off weird freak year. We've actually been bragging in recent years about how few deaths there are. And again, it's user error. It's not because the equipment fails. So everybody needs to understand, A, you have 2 parachutes. B, there is now a piece of technology in all parachutes, or at least it's required at most drop zones, called an AAD, an automatic activation device. Mm-hmm. And that will pop out your parachute if you fall asleep or pass out and your instructor passes out. You will at least be under a parachute at whatever the deployment altitude is, barring all.
Yeah.
But there's next to 0 deaths because of equipment failure in 2026.
Correct.
It's user and airplanes.
Yeah, especially like you said with the AAD. I mean, it's a pretty safe sport.
It's pretty foolproof at that point. But then, you should wake up if you passed out because you do still have to steer the parachute. There are things you're going to hit on the ground like trees, power lines, and so forth. On a day when there's winds, how fast? Throw something out there where they shouldn't be jumping. Minimum. For a brand new student.
For a brand new student, if you... I like to say if the wind gap between the constant wind and the gusts are 9 miles an hour or more.
Give an example of that.
So if the ground wind, like it's just moving at like a solid 5 miles an hour, like that'll literally feel like a...
Okay.
Did you get that, Jacob?
Let me go back a little bit more. So if someone is not skydiving and they don't know what the fuck we're talking about, tell them what numbers we look at the beginning of a day of skydiving, and then explain gust, ground wind, and then the separation that you were just explaining.
Yeah, now all this to say, I am still technically a baby jumper. Even at 750 jumps, we got people who have thousands. So by no means am I an expert. I'm just awesome.
Let's just throw this out there. Yeah, a lot of the instructors have 5,000 to 10,000 jumps each.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So all that being said, you look at wind all the way from the ground, all the way up to when you're exiting.
Yep.
We won't talk about all the exit winds because that's just too much.
We don't. No.
But when you're landing, you want to know what the wind is, right? Kind of like if you're driving into a parking lot, you want to know which way you're supposed to be driving in the parking lot.
So explain the gust versus the wind, the 2 metrics right there.
Yeah, so when you're at the beach and it's constantly windy, that wind's probably hauling at like 20 to 28 miles an hour constant, right?
Cooking, yeah.
But then every once in a while you'll get a burst, right? A gust. So those can be, since you feel those heavier than the normal wind, that's probably moving at like 35 to 40. So like it's just a quick little burst.
But for perspective, gusts come out of nowhere and they're not predictable with patterns.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's terrifying about gusts.
So what I tell my students is when the separation between the normal wind and the gust is predicted to be 9 miles per hour or more.
So as an example, we have 10 on the ground, and then we have 25 gusts.
I tell my students no.
Yeah,
Now
because there's 9 separating the two, and that's a good metric to just generally abide by.
Now us instructors or us experienced people will still jump in that. Should we? No.
Probably not.
But do we? Yes. Every once in a while, we like to kind of test our skills and.
That's true, but there's also still times that you would not do that.
Correct.
Right? I mean, it's
Correct.
really just on the day, intuition, gut, being smart. Hey, there's another day to always jump.
The sky is always
There's not
there.
another day for a life if you fucking end it because you're an idiot.
Exactly. And also, the people who you look up to in the sport, this is how I learned. The people who I looked up to in the sport, if they're sitting down, not jumping.
That's a great, easy way for students. Just do that. Look at the people you respect with a significant number of jumps. And if they're on the ground because they go, it's unreasonable. That is a far and away telltale sign. Sit your ass down.
Yeah. What impresses me is when students are like, yeah, I should probably still jump, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, go ahead. Let me get my camera out first.
Yeah, first let me get my camera. Second, someone go get the ladder, or more so called Zach Snell,
Yes.
a tree climber, and he's going to come out and he might go fetch the student up in the treetop. When
Oh,
they
yeah.
land, but
Yeah, so a whole bunch of stuff that you got to take into account when you're skydiving, not just falling out of a plane.
And I think a lot of people probably think it's way more simple than it actually is.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
probably knew none of this for a lot of people who really just don't know anything about
yeah,
it.
same thing like when we do our first ground course.
Yeah.
First jump course. There we go. Like you said, it's 8 hours.
Yeah.
I like to do mine a little faster. Book Kyle for all skydiving first jump courses. But you see in this course, holy crap, there is so much that you're learning, and this is just for your first jump.
Yeah, just for your first jump.
Yeah. And
It can be overwhelming, and the only thing on your mind, by the way, is the day you're doing that is looking forward to the jump at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, you're like, dude, please
Please
quit
just get me
teaching.
out of
Let's
this
go.
fucking classroom. Is there really another segment? Then they show you a video. Then they show you a graph. Then they make you go do it on the ground on the carpet. And then there's these little things that you can lay on that you could turn on. Because when you get up there, what's interesting is on the first jump, you're just going to free fall. But as you progress, generally there's about 8 jumps in which you're going to be taught different things at each level. And the further you are in the jumping, the more complex the commands, meaning there's certain things you have to do as a student. You have to do a 360. You have to flip over and recover.
Yep.
You have to get stable, this, that, and the other. Your instructor will walk you through each of those prior to each jump on the ground. And that's what makes it interesting / teaches you the basics of how to move your body at 120 miles an hour coming toward the earth, because it's not what you are doing here walking around on the ground.
I like
with
it
the
to,
air
like,
and the force.
working out. Like if you're out of shape, when you're out of shape when you first go to the gym, right? You're not just going to go hop on the free weights. You've got a trainer there, and that trainer just walks you through stretching, walks you through what the gym is. After that, the trainer is then going to put you on the machines where you can't have bad form, right? To teach you the basics. Then the goal of the trainer is to get you onto the free weights, where now you're doing the workouts that you were doing on the machines, but you have more range of motion, and you're building on those exact same skills. They're just more intense.
Yep.
And then eventually the trainer walks away and says, go build your own workouts. That's what I always tell my students. So
Interesting. I didn't know you had all these things that you tell your students.
I have a very fun first jump course.
So
do I
wait,
like teaching it?
wait,
No.
I was
Jimmy,
about
don't
to-
book me.
I was about to say, do you teach those now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
you have to teach 2 or 3 of them.
How many people are usually in a class?
Man, it honestly ranges anywhere from 1 to 7.
Oh, it could even be 1.
Yeah.
Do
Which
you get paid the same regardless? Or per head?
you get paid minimum for 3 students.
Okay.
And if there's more, then you get paid per student. But I'm married. I have a kid. So
I'd say let's share some perspective. If somebody's like, "Hey, I think I want to teach people how to skydive. Talk to me about the money that can be made, and also the pros and cons to doing that." Because you probably intuitively understand what I'm getting at is you got passion
Yep.
and hobby in fun jumping.
Correct.
But as soon as it goes to work mode, you love it because you're all about the experience, but it can become something else for other people who make it a job.
Yeah.
So,
So I love
what
it.
are the pay structure generally, and then what are the pros and cons?
I love it. It is one of the most fun things I've ever done is teaching someone skydiving. Again, I am not the best. I am not an expert. I just have a decent amount of experience.
750 is a lot. He's being humble, but there
do
are
have-
people with 5,000 to 10,000 jumps.
Yeah, you have a bunch of dorks in the sport who like to tout their superiority.
Which is the way you will end up getting yourself killed in skydiving.
Correct. But again, I love it. I can teach it very surface level, or because of my college degree and the way my brain works, I'm a mechanical engineer. I can dive deep into the specifics of it and just get as down and dirty in the weeds as you want.
Quick pause. You owe me 3 Legos, oversized, 3D printed. Did you bring them?
So those are in the car.
Good.
And then,
Okay.
actually, I got you.
We don't need to go off on a tangent here, but
Yeah.
while I was thinking about it,
So I heard you're moving.
let's go!
So I got you a fun little.
For any of
little
you who
light
don't
switch.
know, that is going to be his dick, the light switch. This is awesome. He has a 3D... God damn it, we're going to go down a tangent. He has a 3D printer. Fuck, let's wait. Hold on. We're going to do this later. This is sick. Thank you.
That's
and
for
what's
your,
the next
your
one?
office.
Next Woodburn's office. Let's
Yeah. And
go!
then here's a fun little gift for you to open up later.
Okay, we're going to open that later.
Yeah.
This is my favorite color, by the way. Don't know if you knew that.
I got you.
Okay, let's finish, and then I do want to talk about all that stuff, because I think that's awesome, and I want to plug your Etsy and all that. So,
Where's it going? So it's truly so much fun.
yeah.
But I also feel like I'm, at least from the classes that I've been to, I feel like I'm one. I like to pride myself in not sugarcoating it. A lot of instructors and skydivers are like, oh, it's a super safe sport. Statistically, it's safer than driving down the road. They come out with all these really dumb,
It's pretty silly
yeah,
analogies.
all these dumb safety statistics to make you think it's really safe. Now, statistics wise, yes, it is, right? It is much safer than driving down the road, but you have to drive down the road. You don't have to jump out of an airplane. You are, and I tell my students this about an hour before they're about to jump. From what I've seen, most instructors are hyping their students up at this point, but I tell them, look, you are about to huck yourself out of a plane that is going 100 miles an hour across the ground. You are going to be jumping out over 3 miles in the air, falling towards the ground to your death at 110 to 140 miles, and you have these little tiny strings that are going to hold you up. All that to say...
Way to not scare the shit out of a new jumper, you fucking asshole.
But all that to say, I've got a decent amount of jumps under my belt.
Yeah.
I've had a few sketchy things happen. I'm still here. I'm still safe. I'm going to be right by you 90% of this jump. You're making this choice to jump. Are you ready to still do this? This is not a safe sport. And then they realize, let's go do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting and where I see an overlap is in my company.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned to present all of the terrifying things about each of the jobs that I'm hiring someone for.
Yep.
And I tell them the worst shit that can happen to lay the expectation. And then I say, is this something you want to do?
Yeah.
And if they see the value in the prior conversation about where we're going, what our targets are, how I think they're going to fit in the team and all that, if they can get over the shit that I just told them they're going to have to experience,
Yeah.
and they're still green lit and they're excited, you got a good hire right there.
Exactly. Exactly. So...
But we didn't talk about this. How much money do you make?
Oh, yeah.
And how much does a tandem guy get paid, an instructor, for teaching a class, and then how about a videographer? And then, again, what are the cons and pros to getting into that?
Cool. I heard one question at the beginning. So the pay structure.
I'll get back to you.
Pros and cons. Pros. It was a lot of fun. I love it. Cons, if you're not careful, it turns into a job. For me,
That's what I was getting at.
yeah, for me, I do it truly for fun. My wife also skydives, so that is my number one priority is jumping with her.
However, she was on pause recently. Why?
Something she's like, oh, I'm pregnant.
Y'all gotta call
I
this
can't
guy
skydive."
Daddy now. He's
Yes.
a daddy.
Yes.
He got a little fire crotch baby. That's awesome.
She is
Very
an
proud
awesome
of
little
you.
9-month-old, and so she had to take some time off for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. His wife is wonderful. They are the best gingers on the planet. I must plug. I don't want to glaze you, but consider yourself glazed.
Yes, I do. And I mean, for a while there, like any jump that she was on, I was on, and vice versa. Aside from when I was.
And by the way, they have matching outfits.
Yeah.
Okay? They show up in
Yes.
matching freaking outfits. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah. So cons. It turns into a job.
It
I don't
turns
want
into a
that.
job. What do people get paid / what could they expect to get paid if they're like, yeah, I'm still in. I want to do it because I think I'll enjoy it the way Kyle does.
Yeah. So for my
Shut up, Siri.
goodness gracious,
Literally, who was talking to you?
right? For my jumps for videography, I get paid at the drop zones that I work at $40 per jump for video.
And you do not pay for the jump.
I do not pay for the jump. I do pay for maintenance on my gear. So that's, I guess, one of the costs. I like my own camera. I have my own GoPro. I don't. use
you
my
had to
own-
come to the table with the videography stuff.
Correct. That's my pay at my job zones that I've jumped at.
How many jumps would you do a day at that rate if it's a busy day in the summer?
So last summer my wife wasn't jumping, so I was banging out 6 to 9 jumps a day.
A lot of people, when I tell them, they're like, how'd you get so many numbers in like 4 years or whatever? And I'm like, look, when it's nice on a weekend
Yes.
and I have nothing to do and I'm just there to freaking skydive, I pack quickly, we go back up all day. And I tell people, especially at an event, I could do, and I have done, 10 jumps in a day.
Mm-hmm.
The average would be maybe 6 to 7 on a prime summer day. Even with it when it's busy, the plane just keeps going up and up and up and up.
Correct.
So, okay, got it. What does a tandem instructor get paid? Ballpark.
That one I truly don't know.
How much?
45.
Okay, so it's 45. So it's just a little bit more than a videographer, which, by the way, is a complete ripoff for the person taking them. We're not calling out drop zones, but we are saying get the pay up for the people controlling other people's lives. I am saying that. Kyle's not saying.
Correct. Correct. Good distinction.
Yes.
For
See, I don't care about getting in trouble. Anyways.
for being an instructor,
When you're teaching a ground class.
Yep.
Or what do they call it? A ground course?
ground course.
Ground course.
To be honest, I'm not sure what I get paid for the course. I think maybe it's $50 a person.
Okay, so at a minimum it was the 150, and then at the maximum 50
However
all
many
the way
students,
up.
yeah.
Okay, got it. So you can make 350, 800 or 400 at the maximum.
Yep, and then for the actual jump, you get paid per jump.
Oh, cool.
And that is, I believe that one's 40 or 45.
Okay, so it's all right there in that.
Yeah,
per
but
jump range, and you're
for
not
me-
paying for that.
I truly wouldn't have to get paid, just as long as I get my jump paid.
That's awesome.
That's how much I love it.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm on the same page. I haven't made time yet to do the instructional stuff, but I personally, I believe in like infectious energy, and when people come in grinning, or also FYI, there's a lot of cute girls that come through there trying to do their first jump. Okay, I would not mind being their videographer. That would be fun. But a lot of people start as an instructor or videographer, and then they gravitate toward tandem instructor.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think I'm going to get that certification solely to take friends and family,
Ah.
but I will not be coerced by a drop zone owner to do it for money.
yeah,
It would be solely out of like, hey, I'll give you 3 jumps today, and if they want to do it, great. But if it's like, no, you got to do it all day, sorry, not interested.
Yeah.
By the way, I own my own tandem gear.
well, and that's why for when my wife was jumping, I did, because she packs a little bit slower. So when she was packing, I would go do a work jump, come down, we'd go jump together. She'd
That's so
pack,
cool.
I'd go up. I didn't ever let it interfere.
How long, on average, does it take to pack a parachute for you?
Depends on the day, the weather, and how busy we are. I can pack one in 5 minutes. I'm not going to enjoy when it opens up.
And tell people why you would not enjoy when it opens up if you packed it in 5 minutes.
So if you're packing a tent from a camping trip, and it was like the worst camping trip ever, and you're just stuffing that tent in that bag, what's going to happen when you go camping next time?
I love your analogies.
You're going to be like, man, last week's Kyle really screwed me on this tent. It's full of mold.
You got to
It
take
opens
care
up.
of future you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
exactly.
the point. But call it 10 to 15 minutes for an average pack. You're not really rushing. You just do it efficiently. You pack it strategically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now we have some, I guess you would call them professional packers at our drop zone. Jacob, can you pull a picture of that up?
Yeah, would you pull a picture of the weenie heads that are packers?
No, man, for real, they are impressive.
So real quick, on that note, for perspective, our producer, Mr. Jacob. Everybody give it up for Jacob. What do we say? Boo. Jacob, how many times have you packed a tandem parachute?
I don't don't even know. It's like
It's in the thousands. How many?
very many thousands. Probably
10?
around 8 to 10.
Okay, Jacob McGlamory has packed 8 to 10,000 parachutes.
Fact check that.
Fact check that, somebody.
Fact check
Oh
it.
wait, it's not on Google. Consider it not fact checked. Jacob, how old are you?
20.
This man is 20 years old.
The
and he's
IRS is
packed
listening. Are you sure?
85. Yeah. Are you sure you want to have packed 8 to 10,000 parachutes? This is a big cash sport,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they're gonna definitely.
Never mind.
use
He's
this as
actually only
evidence.
packed 1,000.
No, I thought it was 10, 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's an obscene number, and so he packs those because a tandem instructor will come down, they'll drop their gear off, all crazy like,
Yep.
because I'm so flustered. I'm a tandem instructor, and I'm busy,
Yes.
and I'm important, and
That's
I
when
only
you-
get paid $5.
That's when you can see the fun's been
They're
sucked
gonna.
out of it.
There's a lot of people who are gonna absolutely hate me after this. I'm gonna show up at our drop zone and I'm gonna get some fucking stares for sure. But they can also lick my balls. Anyways, you could maybe cut that out. We'll see. I mean, f the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. But where was I going with all that? Yeah, that's a lot of parachute packs, right? And so they do that for the tandem instructors, and then the tandem instructors can then go get another prepared parachute that's already ready and finish packing, gear up, and go again.
Yeah.
So how many jumps would a tandem instructor go on a busy day?
Oh,
How many
dude.
has Jimmy ripped?
Those guys are some workhorses, man. I couldn't. You couldn't
Yeah,
convince
respect.
me to get my
Big respect.
my TI. I was
TI's
gonna say 10 to
tandem
15.
instructor, by the way.
No, not 15, because there's like 30 in a day.
Probably 8 to 10. And there's like 4 instructors.
There's been some
Yeah.
weird scenarios, though. Jimmy's definitely done like 15 in a day or something
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah, and I mean,
but
it's
on
heavy
average,
gear.
who knows, 10, but that's still a lot. They got to tote a freaking human around, part of the time.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, you need to be a good student. You need to listen to your instructor because you could make their life a good bit more hellish for that $45.
We used to do something called tandem training where the people who are doing the tandems would be in this room and we'd go in and tell them, hey, this is what your jump's going to be like. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're not supposed to do. Your instructor will repeat everything back to you just to make sure you're good to go. Have fun. This is the first experience,
Yeah, have
right?
fun.
So I like to have fun since I'm the videographer and I like to see fun stuff. So sometimes during the tandem training, if I know who they're paired up with, I'll tell them to do some stuff that they're not supposed to do just to make their instructor work a little bit harder. All safe.
Also,
But it's also
Mostly
fun
safe.
seeing them because you can see in the jump when I'm video and you can see the instructor look at me and be like, dude, why'd you do that?
why'd you do that, dude?
Oh, yeah. But overall, man, it's a lot of fun. Great hobby.
And I'll be back soon. For those who don't know, I'm getting a port removed from my chest in about 10 weeks. And it's right where the strap would go, right there.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I have not been jumping, because that port is attached to my jugular. And so if I jumped and the rig really shook, which often they do, even when they're cinched down,
Yeah.
it could rip that out of my jugular, thereby causing me to bleed out in the air. And
Yeah, but you get a really cool scar.
I would
Chicks dig scars.
I would literally be dead.
You'd still have a good scar, though.
Technically true until I'm cremated. Okay? Until I'm cremated and I'm dust.
The ultimate scar.
Back to dust. But see, then you're going to have to take me up and let me out in the sky.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, it's a common thing. People take their ash. I've also seen it go horribly wrong.
That's really disgusting. I jump in open face, and I'm sorry, buddy. You're not coming up there with
They
me.
literally will take somebody's ashes up in the air. Like you take a sailor back to the sea. You spread them in the sea. So you take a skydiver up and you open up their ashes and it... Oh, shit. It goes up in the sky and it's like a poof, you know what I mean? Like when LeBron James does.
Yes.
Matter of fact, maybe he's doing ashes every time he does
He
that.
could be. I've actually heard, though,
Dyed ashes.
that when people are cremated, they're not cremated all the way, so there are chunks
Oh.
in there still.
Okay, so maybe my scar would show and the chicks would dig it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, think about how gross that
Let's
is. Like,
go.
if you're just sitting there one day on your back porch and all of a sudden you just start hearing, like, ting, 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 all around you, you're like, oh, look, little rocks. Right? Gross.
Gross.
That'd be nasty.
Gross. Yeah.
But no, it's also good taking time away from the sport. I believe that,
Oh, back to how long did you take off when the incident happened? I didn't hear that.
that was 2 months.
Was that it?
3. 3 months on that one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
3 months. But it's also nice. Like, it's a fun hobby, right? But everything in moderation. There are some people who...
Yes. I think that's a huge takeaway, and people get burnt out, and then they get out of the sport entirely because they just go way too hard, way too fast, and they're riding their emotions. But I think the enjoyment is truly in, like, soaking it in, going slower. I can also share on this because, you know, fast packs. I gotta go jump, 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 jump. And you have the tendency as an adult doing skydiving to be like a kid on a roller coaster, or more so a slide.
Yep.
Again. You know, you're telling dad again. But I think, as you would agree, moderation is key because the enjoyment is then that much more thorough. If you slow down for a sec, there's always going to be more jumps.
Well, and
you
like
just realize, like,
some of the best times in the sport of skydiving is not skydiving.
That's true.
So
The bond is definitely very deep, at least when you go on a regular basis. But then when you show up after a while, they look at you like, who the fuck is that?
yeah, who's this stranger?
I have to repeat that like every 2 or 3 months because I just take time off.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's necessary, man. I
It
think
is.
some people just do it too much and have some extra hobbies.
Yeah, have some extra hobbies, and a good, diverse, moderate life is best.
Yeah,
I used to drink 6 to 10 drinks, and drink number 4 was no better than drink number 3. So 4 to 10 was just, a social thing, a cue, or whatever. Everybody else is doing it.
yeah.
So now I have 2 or 3 drinks, or 1, and I take them slow. I enjoy them. Wherever I am, I soak in the presence of me being present. And,
Jacob, pull up Alcoholics
great.
Anonymous
Yeah.
phone number real quick, will you?
I did take a full year off, by the way, of drinking, and
How's
that was
that?
really revolving around cancer. But
I've heard a bunch of people, like 50% of people are like, oh, dude, it's the best thing ever. I felt so much difference. And then other people are like, there's no difference.
no,
we do
there's
like 2 months off.
absolutely a difference. It takes 6 or 8 months before you feel the difference.
Ah.
That's what's crazy, and nobody really says this. They go, it'll take you a month or 2 to whatever. No, it's still in your system, and I can just tell you based on feeling and being in tune with myself, it was 6 to 8 months before I no longer had any cravings either. So
Yeah.
like I don't know if you do or not. You're very disciplined, but most people probably get a craving or some FOMO on a Friday, and then that's what leads them to going out and drinking and getting fucked up, and then they regret it all day on Saturday. Where was I going with that? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I literally just blacked
we
out.
do like 3
because I'm fucking hammered.
we do like 3 months of no drinking.
Oh yeah,
And,
sorry. The point is, and then we'll go right back to you. But the point is that it takes that long for you to feel it, and
Yeah.
then the rest. Like at month 12, I didn't want to drink again. I didn't care, and I felt fucking tremendous. And I can tell you, the mental clarity was much better. There's a video, or there's a guy on Instagram who helps alcoholics because he used to be an alcoholic recover, and he does this video. I don't know if either of you have seen this, but he basically takes a glass of water and he puts, he'll usually take like a glass or a bottle of Tito's or something, and he pours the Mio stuff, like the dye in it, and then what he does is he turns on a freaking faucet and starts to put water into the bottle, and it takes like 30 seconds, and he talks the whole time. You watch the dye slowly escape, but it's not instantaneous. It takes a long time, and he talks the whole point, and he just shows you, at the end, like it's a process. It's a day-by-day thing. This is not overnight. You know what I mean? And that's his whole, hey, if you need help recovering, I'm here for you, but this is basically a representation physically of what it looks like to recover from drinking a lot or too often. Not really, alcoholic, yeah, but even the people who are weekend warriors, but they drink Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Oof. They golf Sunday, right? And they're drinking. Saturday, they're partying, football games are on, so forth. Friday night is go out and dinner and drinks and whatever. But it's the same principle. It's still in your body. And what's even weirder on that whole front is like, it didn't really set in with me until a couple years ago when I had a girlfriend who's now an ex-girlfriend that said, just really like reinforced the fact that they're called spirits. And that clicked with me at that point. So this was about 3 years ago. And I'd never really thought of it because you go to the store and it says liquor, it says beer, but a lot of these places say spirits. And so her whole explanation was, no, it's literally a spirit in a bottle. And it's not a good one in most cases.
Interesting.
And it takes over your body while it's in your body. And then when you expel it, you're back to normal. However, people think of, I'm better the next morning.
Yeah.
It's still everywhere in your body. Congrats, you're not feeling the effects anymore, but it's still
in there.
everywhere. So it was just a little eerie, interesting thing that I've always thought harder on when I go to have a drink. And right now I'll have like Aperol Spritz and then a transfusion. I don't know if you know what a transfusion is. It's on the golf course, ginger ale, a little bit of grape juice, and like Tito's or something. But
Oh.
they're light and they're easy, and I don't hurt the next day.
Yeah.
I don't do that to myself anymore because fucking idiots do that to themselves. And I
Right.
can say that because I was a
It's like
fucking
poking
idiot.
myself in the eye, be like, this hurts.
This really hurts. I wish I would stop, or I wish it would stop.
Yes. Yes.
So, anyways, I totally jacked up your line of thought too, but I had to.
I don't know what it was.
Had to finish. So let's get off that topic. I want to talk about briefly, because we're supposed to actually start another podcast here shortly.
Uh-oh.
Give me one conspiracy theory
Oh, dude.
that is top of mind or your favorite thing most recently. Because this is where, like, Kyle and I love we'll talk about 100 different things on a phone call, but we go really deep and then we shift a topic. And then we shift a topic. And I feel like that's how our conversations go. And then we consume a lot really quickly. And we're both, like, on the same wavelength. I'm not quite as smart as he is, but at least I'm not a ginger. So there's that.
True.
Yeah.
Got a soul.
But favorite conspiracy theory, go. 2026 July, whatever today is.
I'm going to go
The
with
24th.
my favorite Atlanta conspiracy theory.
Okay.
You remember that bridge burn on, was it
do.
85?
I do.
That guy,
Severe bridge burn.
severe, burned down the bridge.
This is over at Cheshire Bridge, funny enough. Morningside Cheshire Bridge?
Is that where it was?
I think.
Like some homeless guy,
Yeah.
apparently burned, old tires or something like that
Something.
under there?
It started with a homeless man's fire, right?
Yeah.
And then it led to a meltdown.
Yeah, Jacob, pull that up real quick.
Please do.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he burned the bridge down, and then when it was time for him to go to court, he couldn't go to court because he was too mentally incompetent. Odd, right?
Okay.
But the crews that redid the bridge did it in record time, dude. It was like, I think 20 days that it took them to rebuild that
Because
bridge.
this is a main road in Atlanta, even though it's not a highway, this is a main, like, there's 6 lanes or 4 lanes at a bare minimum.
Yeah, but that construction crew got paid an ungodly
It was
amount
unheard
money.
of. It was a record amount because the city supposedly asked for it to be built as quickly as possible to get people back.
Correct. Correct. And like this,
So
the place,
what is the deep dive there? It's that who's corrupt? Who's in
what
this?
is it? The city of Atlanta, or is it that
Somebody
construction
getting
crew?
kickbacks?
Yes, because
Interesting.
apparently where those tires were burned, it was super locked up, so no homeless person's just gonna like randomly willy nilly go in there.
Oh, so fencing and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
And
Interesting.
yeah, and jet fuel doesn't burn metal beams. That was 9/11.
That's kind
Conspiracy
of crazy.
theory.
Yeah. I'm
So-
like, oh, interesting. Huh.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
But then,
and
like,
you know what's interesting is I think I know exactly what crew you're talking about. Is C.W. Matthews? Is that it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did they watch this?
Well, I will say that I am not pointing blame at anybody, and I do not want to be sued. And please don't send me a cease and desist. But all I will say is they run most of the interstate contracts in Georgia.
Yeah, but then
They have made a niche of only working really with the state and the city
it
and
takes
the counties.
years for them to do, like literally just changing a little pothole, dude. It takes
So
years.
how? Yeah. So then the light speed. Interesting.
So they could technically.
So it
redo
takes
285.
Atlantans to know what we're talking about, and if not, you can look it up. But there was a crazy bridge burn at one time, and they had to completely redo it on a very main road, but they did it in record time. And of course, if the price is right, anybody could mobilize, right? Like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You and I could contract that for sure, and just place some disgusting numbers on there that
Yeah.
would make people vomit. But then that's the fuel for you to then go hire people who will drop everything they're doing to come work on that today.
Yeah, I mean it was fantastic. They fixed it right away.
Yeah.
But now we've had
Did they get
285
burnt down again, or there was another one?
That was a
maybe
different
similar.
bridge.
Okay,
that burned
yeah,
down.
a couple of bridges. Both, I think, homeless people.
Yeah.
Was
so
the other one too?
I thought that was a car.
We're gonna have to figure this out, Jacob.
Yeah,
We're gonna
pull
need
that
a
one up too.
We're gonna need a computer and screen and all that.
Yeah. That's a
crazy.
fun one, right?
That is.
Like, wow,
That's local.
We've
Wow.
had our highways worked on
Again,
for
C.W. Matthews, we
years.
respect you. We respect your billions. We respect your contracting skills. Please do not sue me. I'm just getting started. Please, please, please. Worst case, we'll take this episode down, but we'll just chop this section out.
Yeah.
We love you, C.W. Matthews.
Yeah.
You're great. You're
That's
like-
just
you're the
a
best.
super silly fun one.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
I thought you were going to go like Alien or something along those lines, but we're going to have to
That's
do
too
it with
deep
more
for this
time.
one.
Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to text you, Jacob, the next podcast guest phone number, and please reach out to him because it is 1 o'clock when he's supposed to be starting, and he
Cool.
does have a common tendency of being late, and so I'm going to send this so that Kyle and I continue. What is number 2? What is your next favorite, or maybe an alien one, or something that's like outlandish? Doesn't need to be local. Talk to me. Give me something. Or if you don't want to talk about that, whatever's top of mind.
I'm quite intrigued by all these, I guess these alien spottings that all these like top ranking Air Force pilots have been seeing. That's crazy.
That
And then
is crazy.
Yeah, all of a sudden the government
And they're willing to go. Aren't they willing to go on record? And there's a lot
Yeah.
of like documented. Hey,
and
like,
like
no, here's
ruin
what I
their
saw.
whole career.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But the crazy thing too is every civilization or every I don't know, group of people all the way up until like the past 400 or 500 years has believed in angels and demons. Obviously, we're on more of a trend to stay away from spirituality. So we're all saying it's aliens, but back in the day, they were saying it's angels and demons and stuff like that, which leads me to the Loch Ness Monster. Don't know how I got there, but I was just thinking about that. Have you heard what the Loch Ness Monster possibly is?
No, what?
So Jacob, you'll actually have to pull this one up. Look up whale, little whale wieners. Not little whale wieners, but
Are we saying the Loch Ness Monster is a whale wiener?
if you look up a picture,
What?
and please don't do this on your work computer.
Don't worry, I bought my work computers.
But if you look it up, delete your search history afterwards, because then the algorithm is going to hit you with a whole bunch
A
of whale
whole bunch of
wieners.
whale pics.
But
Your
the
feed is gonna be
shape of it
just-
when they breach the water looks exactly like the Loch Ness Monster.
That's weird.
And they think that the Loch
Yo!
Ness... Right? Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so for those of you...
So people have just been tripping out, calling it a Loch Ness Monster, and it's just a big old whale.
Yeah, Willie's just out there trying to find Miss Willie.
Yeah, Willie and his Willie are out there trying to find Miss Willie.
I like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Willie finds Willie.
That's crazy. Willie finds Willie. What was the original one? Free Willy?
Free Willie, yeah.
Free Willie's dick. That's the spoof. That's the spoof.
Yeah.
We're gonna direct that. We're raising funds, so donate.
Yes. Yes. But
this
isn't that
is cool.
crazy?
That is.
Had no idea about that. Did
Okay.
you start... What happened to your helicopter pilot's license?
Yeah.
Going after
Oh,
that.
yeah. You said you were going to ask me about that. I still am going to, but the hourly cost, and we actually talked about this on the first podcast with my dad. The hourly cost for a R44 with an instructor ends up being between $600 and $700 per hour.
Oh,
So
my gosh.
you need 50 hours at a bare minimum. I think it's technically 40, but they're like, dude, you need 60 in a helicopter because it's so complicated. And we did kind of talk about this a lot. I explained flying a helicopter as playing a drum set.
Yeah.
And if you don't inherently there's people who can pick that up and just, they don't focus on one thing. They have to focus on 5.
Yeah.
And that's what flying a helicopter is, because you're keeping it straight while keeping it in the air, while keeping the rotor spinning, while doing all these things. And I did in the first episode explain all that. But
Why not just do a normal pilot's license then?
I am going to, for sure. That will probably be first, and then I'm going to go and get my helicopters after. But I've just had a shit show of a past 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't have
Lazy.
the money a year and a half ago to continue at $700 per fucking hour. Because the idea would be to do it pretty quickly, right? You'd ride off last weekend with that experience, and now you're going this weekend.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to be able to commit to $3,500 a month for the next however many months, which, by the way, would only be 1 hour every week.
Oh.
So, and then when I do get back into it, I'm probably going to purchase a helicopter, which would be different because you're renting. in
Have you seen
that
those ones
figure.
that you can build, like the, I think they're
Yes.
called like a Fortiplane, or I don't know the helicopter.
There's a lot of
ones.
badass ones. There's one that acts like an airplane.
Not gyroscope.
Yeah, there is one. It's like 30 grand. It's a kit that you can assemble and build, but you can also pay to have somebody do it. I would love to get one of those. There's a dude who posts them on Facebook for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
man.
That's where he's always in my algorithm. But he has a ton of land and he takes off and lands in the grass.
That's cool. I'm a part of a whole bunch of Facebook groups for buying airplanes, which I'm never going to. I don't have money. And same thing with like building your own airplane.
That's why it's good to have rich friends.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't have any. So if you're out there, hit me up. I am married though, so don't come at me for that.
Well, Kyle's definitely going to be coming back on. Here's how we're going to wrap up. Talk to me about what you've been doing with 3D printing, experimenting on that front, and what you brought me today. We did already show these, but again, this has a little outlet for a light switch, so it looks like it's his dick that you're playing with.
That was
Pretty damn
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah.
And then this is awesome. This is just like The Office, by the way, in case you're freaking either ancient or a child. This is an Office reference. Not like It's My Office, but like the TV show or The Office. Okay. And then I don't know what this is. It probably has drugs in it, but it's blue, and that's my favorite color. So thank you for
Yeah,
this.
you'll have to figure out how to open that up.
Okay. Yeah. What have you been doing with the 3D printer? How much did it cost?
So I actually started, 4 years ago when the boot problem happened in Atlanta. Do
Okay.
you remember that? The boot girls banned the boot, all that?
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Sort of. I really don't, but
so there were these girls that were going around Atlanta removing boots from cars.
how were they doing that? You mean for free, like as a hero?
No, so you could call them and pay them, I think like 50 or $75.
Oh.
And they would be there within 10 to 30 minutes.
This was a hack to not have to pay.
Yeah,
okay.
because
pay
boot
a higher fee.
companies, yeah, and it'd be like $275, and they might be there in an hour. They might be there in like 4 hours.
Interesting.
So it turns out that there was one key to unlock all the boots.
Ha!
Right. So
I
they
didn't know
happened.
this was a thing.
Yeah. So they happened to, and this is if you go on YouTube, Vice did a documentary on him, and so did Tommy G.
hilarious. Yeah.
So I got in contact with them. I was like, hey, I can help you make a lot of money. I can copy that key, so you can then just go sell them, and I can make money. You guys can make money. You don't have to this and
You
that, the
reached
other.
out to them?
Yeah.
Ha!
Not thinking that they'd reply because they had at the time like 50,000 followers.
You're blowing my mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I sold them these little plastic keys, which cost me at that time, dude, it was like literally 2 cents per key. Sold it to them for $15 each.
So just solely out of curiosity, did you think about any sort of legal ramification on that front? Could there ever
Yes.
be? Okay.
No, so it's actually the
But like you're intelligent, you probably would have already thought about
yeah the boot company owns the boots.
it. Okay.
So as long as you leave the boot where it was,
Got it.
you're good to go. So it's basically like a commission.
Oh,
so
that
these-
was a full blown hack even with them doing it.
yeah. So like
Oh,
the,
I thought like that was illegal, but
no.
Oh.
No, so like if you
What?
own a parking lot, you call the boot company, you get a certain percentage from
Of course,
them getting
yeah.
paid.
They get most of the money. You actually are a minority
Yeah,
partner in that.
so
but they handle the logistics.
Yeah, and the owner of the parking lot that you're getting booted in now has a prerogative to get as many boots as possible.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, so I sold them at $15 each, like 500 of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they turned around and tried to sell them for I think like $150 each.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they sold like maybe 3, and they melted in the sun. So jokes on them. Turned out they were extremely ghetto, and this
That is so funny.
yeah, this is neither confirmed or not
That is
confirmed, but
crazy.
apparently to get that original key, they had broken into the headquarters and gotten the key that way.
Oh, got it. So there's the legal shit right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's what got you into it.
Yeah, because I saw like an opportunity. I was like, oh, I can buy
So
a cheap
did you
printer.
not buy it until they said go?
Yep.
Oh, that's
And then-
fucking hilarious.
Then I learned how to do it on the fly.
And how much was the initial machine?
Uh,
The round one, because I'm sure you're not on
100
round one.
Yeah, $120 to buy
Oh,
it.
really?
So I made my money back real quick. Sold that. Got a Lamborghini of a printer.
Okay.
And then that
How much
transition.
is that one?
That one, all in was $900.
900. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be spitting out some crazy numbers
No,
here.
now we have 2 more, so we got 3 in all. I think each machine now is $1,200.
Okay.
Um,
So that leads
yeah.
to what do you now print on a regular basis, and Where do you sell those things?
So literally just a whole bunch of gimmicks, toys.
So a lot of
Schlock,
stuff that
a lot of
are
silly
hilarious.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silly, creative, fun ideas.
Yeah, I like doing stuff with my hands. Since I have a job where
Yeah, we know you like using your hands like that, buddy. Okay, anyways.
So since I have a job where I'm kind of Jacob,
He was about to burst.
yeah. Since I have a job where I work at a computer, I wanted to do something with my hands.
Got it.
So I do 3D printing. It pays for the majority of our bills, daycare.
That's so sick.
Plus some
Daycare's
money on
fucking
top.
expensive.
Dude, that's a whole nother like 5-hour long
That
topic
is
I can go
wild.
on. Yeah.
Okay, and we will talk about that.
Yeah.
So tell people we got to wrap up. We got podcast number 2 about to happen. We're gonna have Kyle back. I think this was a lot of fun.
Obviously, it's
also, just to be clear, I did not know sitting in a chair talking could be so fun, and that's why I ended up starting the podcast. Because where you're sitting was where my integrative medicine doctor was sitting,
Yeah.
and we just had a great combo because I learned a lot while getting to talk about myself, and that's easy, and then asking questions and so forth. So like, as an adult, sitting talking like this is kind of fun.
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
weird. But tell people where they can find your products on the web. And also, do you still do the salsa hot pepper business?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
So
so
you can
tell-
find
give-
us on
give the
Etsy.
spiel.
Tucci's One Stop Shop.
Spell it out.
TucciSonestopshop on
Okay.
Etsy.
Real quick on the peppers. What do you do with that?
Yeah, man. So during 2020, I have a real big green thumb. Got me in trouble in college. We can talk about that next episode. So I'm really good at growing stuff. Grow a whole bunch of cacti from seed, this and the other. So I started growing peppers during COVID. Couldn't figure out what to do with them. My buddy made some pepper jelly. I ate it. I was like, dude, this tastes like crap. I can make it better. Reverse engineered the recipe just from tasting it, knowing what it is. And it turned into a business.
That's crazy.
Another business that we do too.
But these are all on the same page. It's the one
Yeah,
stop.
all on the same page.
One stop shop.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
do jams and jellies and pretty
That's
much whatever
incredible.
I think of I can make. It just sucks because I don't write the recipes down. So once it's made, it's kind of
Oh, okay.
out
So
there.
point being is they're special order, and you
Yeah.
get one draft, and there's no revisions. You're not going to get that same one ever again.
yeah, man. Like
So
Tabasco
each one's
sauce.
unique.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
We love people and things that are unique.
Which is me.
That's him. All right, the Ginger Stallion. Say thanks to Kyle for coming out.
Thanks,
Round
Kyle,
of
for
applause,
coming
everybody. Woo! Woo! Kyle does that. He's definitely going to come back out. Check out his Etsy shop and support the boy. I have some products that are not a brand I'm going to mention right now that he's 3D printed for me and I paid for, and I'm excited to get them. And maybe I can show them on camera. He'll tell me whether or not I can. All right, we'll see you on episode number 4. Deuces.